Hello everybody, welcome back to another live stream. Happy Monday everyone, hope you guys are all doing well. Welcome. We're going to do some anatomy and physiology for the HESI and T's today. How is everyone doing? Hello, welcome in. Hello, good to see everybody again. Thanks for joining everybody. I would appreciate it if you gave the live stream a like. It will send it out to more people so we can help as many people as possible for their upcoming A&P exams, some HESI and T's. I'll try to get as many people help as possible. How's everyone doing? I hope you guys had a great weekend. How is everyone doing? Hello. Thanks for joining, everybody. I really appreciate it. It's awesome to see you all here. Hello. We'll get started here in just a moment. We're going to start with some cardiovascular system. I kind of have a couple of different questions, a little all over the place, so we can try to get as much practice as possible. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Thanks for liking the live, everybody. I appreciate it. Hello. How's everyone doing? Welcome in, everybody. We'll get started here in just a moment. Hello. I think I might turn my overhead light off here just in a second here just to get some better stuff here. Give me 1 second. Does that make the screen look a little better, guys? We'll go ahead and get started now, everybody. Welcome in. Hello. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Ollie. I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology topics for HESI T's, A&P class, pharmacology, pretty much anything that you guys do request. Today, we're working on some anatomy and physiology for HESI and T's. We are on number 1 now. We'll get started here. Welcome, everybody. Which chamber of the heart receives oxygenated blood from the lungs? Hello, everybody. Welcome in. I do upload these to YouTube afterwards as well in case you just finished my T's test like 30 minutes ago and I passed. Congratulations. If we could get a congratulations in the chat, that'd be awesome. That's a very big accomplishment. You should be very proud of yourself. But hello, everybody. Welcome in. I'm cooked. No, you're not cooked, Ivory. You're definitely not cooked. We are on number 1. Which chamber of the heart receives oxygenated blood from the lungs? And again, if you're new here, welcome. I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology and other topics that you guys do request. I do post these to YouTube afterwards. And I also have my anatomy and physiology notes available for you guys as well on my website. Everything is linked in my bio for you. The answer here is C. It is the left atrium. So the chamber of the heart that receives oxygenated blood from the lungs is the left atrium via the pulmonary veins. Remember, this is one of the only veins that has oxygenated blood. Taking anatomy next year during my senior year. Awesome! I hope it goes well. Hey, I'm taking... one sec, my comments are glitching out. Hey, I'm taking anatomy starting in May. This is very helpful. Thank you. Awesome, Rebecca. Good luck in anatomy and physiology. You got this. Miles, taking anatomy senior year. Prepared to be going in college. Awesome. Great. This will be great practice for you. Thanks for following, everybody. I really appreciate it. We're going to move on to number 2 now. We're going to talk about the blood flow through the heart. Number 2, what is the correct order of blood flow through the heart and lungs starting from the body? I'm taking an EMT class next fall. Awesome. Good luck on your EMT class. Actually, not the umbilical. Also, yes, I said it's one of the only ones. It's one of the only ones. One of means there's more. But yes, it's umbilical cords as well. Umbilical vein. But I did not say that it was the only one. I literally have an exam tomorrow on this. Awesome. Good luck on your exam tomorrow. Awesome. I didn't. No, I did not. There you go. What is the only correct order here of blood flow through the heart and lungs? The answer is A. It is the right atrium to the right ventricle, to the lungs, to the left atrium, to the left ventricle, to the body. Right atrium, right ventricle, lungs, left atrium, left ventricle, and through the body. Can do a quick little... This is a great way to practice blood flow through the heart. I'll try to draw a little bigger. I always do 4 boxes for the chambers It's my apex. This is my aorta. This is my superior and inferior vena cava. Go through here, comes from the superior and inferior vena cavas into the right atrium, into the right ventricle, through the tricuspid valve, through the pulmonary valve, out to our lungs here. Oh, that doesn't look right. Oh boy. Lungs. Comes back through the pulmonary veins into the left atria, left ventricle through the bicuspid valve, out through the aortic valve, into the aorta to the rest of the body. That's a great way to practice, a good little, like, quick, non-artistic way to draw out the blood flow to the heart. Number 3, which blood vessels carry oxygenated blood away from the heart? Awesome, hold on one sec, my comments are glitching out. Who's here starting a problem? Okay, yeah. We'll just get rid of you. We're not here to start problems. We're here to learn. So, sorry guys about that if you were getting bothered by someone. This is for anatomy and physiology. I'm doing phlebotomy exam up next week, so I'm enjoying the class, refreshing the brain. Awesome. Thank you for the rose, Rebecca. I really appreciate it. Yes, you're great for doing this. Yes, thank you guys for joining. Number 3, which blood vessel carries oxygenated blood away from the heart? I'm doing MA, and this is exactly the questions they're teaching us. Awesome, I'm glad. That's perfect. I'm glad this is able to help you guys. But if you are new here, welcome in. Thanks for all the follows. I do have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I have been tutoring anatomy and physiology for about 5 years. Since 2020. But the answer here, again, we're talking about which blood vessels carry oxygenated blood away from the heart. This isn't really always the best question, but let's just say carry blood away from the heart. The answer here is going to be vein. All right, I'm sorry. Artery. My bad. I was looking at a different answer. Sorry. It is an artery. So arteries carry blood away from the heart. Not all arteries carry oxygenated blood. Again, as we've seen here, the pulmonary artery is going to carry blood to the lungs. This is deoxygenated. And it gets oxygenated, and it comes back to the pulmonary veins, back to the heart, so it can get oxygenated. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Yes, I do have a study guide for anatomy and physiology. It is on my website. It's linked in my bio. Yep, same with the umbilical artery. Exactly. Number 4, which valve prevents backflow of blood into the left atrium? Which valve prevents backflow of blood into the left atrium? We're on number 4 now, and if you are just joining us, welcome. We're going over some HESI and TEAS review for anatomy and physiology. I do have a master's degree in molecular medicine. I do upload these to YouTube afterwards as well. I appreciate all the follows, guys. Thank you guys so much. Awesome. Thanks for all the follows, everybody. I really appreciate it. Alrighty. Remember, what is the valve that prevents backflow into the left atrium? Remember, our blood flow, our left atrium goes to our left ventricle in a forward direction. So backflow, meaning it would go backwards. So we go from the left ventricle into the left atrium. What is the valve that's here? That is D. That is the mitral or bicuspid valve. Does that make sense, everyone? We're going backwards, not forwards in here. We do have some nervous system questions in here as well a little later on. Absolutely. We'll do those as well. Hello, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining. It's awesome to see you all here. Yes, this is a college level anatomy and physiology. This is practice for the HESI and TEAS exam, or just great does the study. I have a study guide for both ANP1 and ANP2. They're separate, but they're both there. But we'll move on now to number 5. Which part of the heart is responsible for pumping oxygenated blood into systemic circulation? Which part of the heart is responsible for pumping oxygenated blood into systemic circulation? This is great review for the HESI and TEAS exam. And just anatomy and physiology in general here. We're just trying to review. That's pretty much it here today, guys. But we're going to go through some practice questions. I have about 60 for us today. Awesome. A for question 4, no, it is D. Remember here, we're talking about backflow. If we're going backwards into the left atrium, we're coming from the left ventricle, and the valve that's between the left ventricle and the left atrium is the mitral valve. Think about it here. If we have the diagram right here, I'll do orange this time. If we're going backflow is back into the left atrium. Number 5, the answer, which part of the heart is responsible for pumping oxygenated blood into systemic circulation? The answer is C. It is the left ventricle. The left ventricle is the strongest chamber. The left ventricle pumps blood through the aorta to the entire body. I remember our right ventricle pumps blood through our pulmonary circulation. It pumps it to the lungs. Systemic meaning body, left ventricle to the rest of the body. Moving on to number 6. What structure generates the electrical impulse that initiates the heartbeat? Give you guys a couple seconds to answer that one. This will be on YouTube afterwards, if you've missed anything. Number 6 is D, the SA node. The SA node is the heart's natural pacemaker. It initiates the impulse causing atrial contraction. And again, my YouTube is linked in my bio, or it's just my name here. I'll write it in YouTube. But number 7, blood pressure is highest in which of the following vessels? Blood pressure is highest in which of the following vessels? I remember getting a question like that, but I wasn't sure. Which one? We're on number 7 now. We're on number 7 now. Blood pressure is highest in which of the following vessels? It would be D, arteries. It would be arteries, particularly because this is where you're receiving high pressure blood directly from the heart, which is mainly at the aorta and large arteries. So veins have very low pressure. That's why they require valves to prevent backflow. But capillaries, they have thin walls for exchange, meaning that their pressure is significantly lower. That way, so the exchange of nutrients and blood can occur. Venules are even lower pressure than capillaries. Number 8, what is the main function of red blood cells in the cardiovascular system? What is the main function of red blood cells in the cardiovascular system? Number 8, the answer is B. It is to transport oxygen. Remember, red blood cells, they contain protein hemoglobin. This binds oxygen for transport. Number 9, which of the following would cause an increase in heart rate? Which of the following would cause an increase in heart rate? Give you guys a couple seconds. So the answer here for number 9, so which of the following would cause an increase in heart rate? The answer is B. It is decreased oxygen levels. Meaning that when the body detects decreased oxygen levels, this is known as hypoxia. It activates the sympathetic nervous system, our fight or flight response. This would lead to a release of adrenaline. This is going to increase the heart rate to pump more blood, aka more oxygen, to the tissues that need it. So it is kind of like a feedback mechanism to ensure that adequate oxygen is being delivered to organs and tissues. Does that make sense? This is for HESI and Ts. Increased blood volume may lead to more. It might lead to an increased blood pressure, but not necessarily heart rate. Yeah, compensatory mechanism. You're right. My mistake. That was my mistake. Yes, it'll be uploaded to YouTube as well. Number 10. Which vessel returns deoxygenated blood from the lower body to the heart? But compensatory mechanisms are considered a type of feedback mechanism. Which vessel returns deoxygenated blood from the lower body to the heart? Remember, from the lower body. The answer here is C. It is the inferior vena cava. So the superior vena cava, yes, it does return deoxygenated blood to the heart. However, this is from the upper body. All right, moving on to number 11. What is the primary function of the alveoli in the lungs? You can find these questions on YouTube. Hi, Karen, how you doing? These questions will be on YouTube afterwards. It's linked in my bio, as well as my study guides and my notes for anatomy and physiology. Hello, everyone that just joined. Welcome in. My name is Ollie. I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology and other topics. Thank you. I passed my exam. Awesome. Congratulations, Karen. I'm so happy to hear that. Thanks for following, everybody. I do go live every day covering anatomy and physiology and other topics that you guys do request. I do have a master's degree in molecular medicine as well, and I've been tutoring anatomy for about 5 years now. Thank you for the finger hearts. Jessica, thank you so much. Number 11, what is the primary function of the alveoli in the lungs? The answer is C. To exchange gases between the air and blood. 12, which muscle is primarily responsible for inspiration, otherwise known as inhalation? And these questions will be on YouTube afterwards as well. I do have practice exams on my website too. This one in particular is not up there yet. But it will be posted to YouTube later tonight for you guys to rewatch. If you have missed anything, I post all of my live streams to YouTube afterwards, so you can go back and rewatch them and make notes and answer the questions all the way through from start to end if you need to. Number 12, which muscle is primarily responsible for inspiration? The answer is the diaphragm. The diaphragm contracts and flattens. It's responsible for increasing or decreasing thoracic volume and pulling and pushing air into the lungs. But the intercostal muscles they assist, but they're not the primary muscle. The rectus abdominis is an abdominal muscle. It's used more for forceful exhalation. And the sternocleidomastoid, the SCM, that helps in like a deeper or a labored breathing, not normal inspiration. I do not tutor with math as well. The only thing I'm tutoring right now is anatomy and physiology. They are, yeah, the external intercostals, yes, they are, but they're not the main one. They're not the primary one. Again, the answer, read the questions here too as well. If you have questions like this, it's going to say primarily. There might be questions that say also they have a partial response. It's going to say primarily. There might be questions that say also they have a partial responsibility, partial or assist. Look for questions that have those words in them, but this question is primarily responsive. That would be the diaphragm. Number 13, what structure prevents food from entering the trachea during swallowing? Number 13, what structure prevents food from entering the trachea? What are my credentials? I have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I have been tutoring anatomy and physiology since 2020. I've tutored over 100 students. Awesome, awesome. Answer epiglottis. C. The epiglottis is that like flap of tissue that covers the trachea. It prevents food from entering the trachea when you swallow food. Number 14. Which part of the brain controls the rate and depth of breathing? Do I do online tutoring sessions? Yes, my tutoring is full right now, though. My email is listed on my website. Send me an email first, and we can talk about tutoring if you'd like. Never taken this class so far, but only missed one. Awesome, great. Number 14, which part of the brain controls the rate and depth of breathing? The answer is C. It is the medulla oblongata. The medulla oblongata. That controls the respiratory centers that regulate the autonomic breathing. Number 15. Which of the following is the correct sequence of airflow into the respiratory system? Hello to everybody that just joined. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I do go live every single day covering anatomy and physiology. Some other topics you guys request, we do pharmacology every Friday. I was also a pharmacy tech for almost 5 years. I've done tutoring for about 5 years, and we do go live pretty much every day. It's awesome. I love doing this. You guys make this so much fun. We are at number 15 now. If you are just joining us, welcome. The question asks, which of the following is the correct sequence of airflow into the respiratory system? The answer is B. It is the pharynx, through the trachea, the bronchi, into the bronchioles, and the alveoli. That's the correct sequence as air flows from upper to the lower respiratory tract. Number 16, what is the purpose of surfactant in the alveoli? What is the purpose of surfactant in the alveoli? Oh, Ollie new here. Thank you for helping. Yes, no problem. Thank you for joining. It's always great to see new faces here. I love new people. I love sharing these. I love doing these with you guys. It's so much fun. I appreciate you guys joining. I love you guys. This is awesome and a lot of fun to do. I have a test on this tomorrow. Yes, this will be uploaded to YouTube either later tonight or tomorrow morning. They always get uploaded either the same day. It kind of just depends on the processing time. Because they're about an hour long. So it kind of just depends. I would test it for. Oh, good luck on your test. The answer here is C. It is to reduce surface tension and prevent alveolar collapse. So surfactant reduces surface tension inside of the alveoli. So whenever you exhale, it prevents them from collapsing. 17. What happens to the diaphragm during exhalation? During exhalation. Give you guys a couple seconds to answer. Hello to everybody that just joined. Welcome in here. We're doing some anatomy and physiology for the HESI and Ts. Some great review for anatomy and physiology if you have that class. And I do go live every day. Yeah, we can talk. So number 16, surfactant is inside the alveoli. Its purpose and function is to reduce surface tension inside of the alveoli, and when you exhale, it prevents them from collapsing. But number 17, what happens to the diaphragm during exhalation? The answer is C. It relaxes and it moves upward. Now let's explain this. So during exhalation, your diaphragm relaxes. What this does is this is going to reduce your lung volume. It's going to increase the pressure. So when you increase the pressure, you're going to move air out of the lungs. So contract and flattening, this is going to be inhalation. So when you flatten, you increase the lung volume. So you decrease the pressure, allowing more air to go into the lungs. Does that make sense, everybody? I know a lot of people get confused the difference between inhalation and exhalation when it comes to kind of like what the diaphragm does. Can I repeat? Yes, I can repeat it real quick, and then let's read 18, and then I'll repeat it. Number 18, which gas stimulates the respiratory center to increase the rate of breathing? But number 17, what happens to the diaphragm during exhalation? So we exhale, we relax, and we move upward. What this does, when the diaphragm moves upward, we decrease the lung volume. By decreasing the lung volume, the pressure is increased. And when you increase the pressure, that is going to move air out of the lungs. In inhalation, you want to increase your lung volume so you can decrease the pressure so more air can move into the lungs. Thank you all for the gifts. I appreciate it. Thank you, Vito and Carla. Thank you guys so much. Number 18 now. Number 18. Which gas stimulates the respiratory center to increase the rate of breathing? The answer is D. So elevated CO2 levels. So when you increase CO2, this is going to cause a drop in blood pH. This is going to trigger chemoreceptors, basically, to increase the rate of breathing. So increase breathing rate. So again, when you have elevated levels of carbon dioxide, it's going to cause a drop in the blood pH, which is going to trigger the chemoreceptors to stimulate faster breathing because there's a drop in blood pH. Number 19, what structure does the external respiration occur? Gas exchange with the environment, basically. So in what structure does external respiration, gas exchange with the environment occur? The answer C is the alveoli. So the alveoli is where we have gas exchange occurring. This is where oxygen and carbon dioxide are exchanged between the lungs and the blood. Bronchioles or airways. The pharynx is part of the upper airway, so there's no gas exchange. Trachea is also a passageway. Number 20. What is the function of the cilia lining the respiratory tract? What is the function of the cilia lining the respiratory tract? What exam? This is review for the HESI and TEAS exam for anatomy and physiology. Hello to everybody that just joined. If you are just joining us, welcome. My name is Ollie. I do go live about every single day covering anatomy and physiology. We do pharmacology on Fridays. Pretty much any topics that you guys do request. I do have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I do upload every single live stream to YouTube afterwards in case you join late or you have to leave early or you miss one. And I do have notes and study guides for anatomy and physiology that I use to get an A in the class. I got 100% on my final exams as well. Those are linked in my bio as well as my YouTube. What time do I go live on Friday? It'll probably be around the same time. I'm a huge fan. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad. Thanks for following. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the follows. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. We're on number 20. What is the function of cilia lining the respiratory tract? The answer is C. It is to move mucus and debris out of the airways. Is to move mucus and debris out of the airways. So the cilia, they kind of move in rhythm to sweep mucus upward, clearing the debris and pathogens. 21. What is the primary function of the small intestine? What is the primary function of the small intestine? I passed my exams. 80% were questions from here. Awesome, Mackie. Thank you. Hello to everybody that just joined. Welcome in. Hello, hello. We're on number 21 now. What is the primary function of the small intestine? So cilia, those are like hair-like, they're like very tiny microscopic hair-like structures. They extend kind of from the surface. So if this is your, just say cell, they kind of look like this on the cell. It's basically for movement and propulsion. Number 21, what is the primary function of the small intestine? The answer is A, absorption of nutrients. So the small intestine is the main site of nutrient absorption. Basically, the walls are lined with villi and microvilli. This helps maximize the surface area. And hello to everybody that just joined. Welcome in. We're on number 22 now. Which of the following organs produces bile? Which of the following organs produces bile? And if you are new here, welcome, welcome. My name is Ollie. I do go live every single day covering anatomy and physiology. I thought the large intestine, it was not the large intestine. So the large intestine is mainly for water and electrolyte reabsorption. So the small intestine, that's where most of the pancreatic enzymes are secreted. But hello, my name is Ollie. I do go live every single day covering anatomy and physiology. I do have a master's degree in molecular medicine. I've been tutoring anatomy for about 5 years now. I was also a pharmacy tech for about 5 years as well. We are on number 22. Which of the following organs produces bile? The answer is B. It is the liver. The liver makes bile. This is going to help emulsify fats for digestion. Now, in case you got that one confused, let's move on to number 23 now. What is the role of the gallbladder in digestion? Also, if you are new here, welcome. I do upload these to YouTube afterwards too. Just in case you joined a little late or you have to leave a little early. It's linked in my bio, as well as my notes and study guides for anatomy and physiology. I got an A in the class, and I got 100% on both of my final exams for AMP1 and AMP2. Alrighty. The answer to 23 is C. It stores and releases bile. So the gallbladder will store bile that is produced by the liver, and it releases into the small intestine during fat digestion. So a lot of things that people get confused here is the gallbladder, since it releases bile, people think that it produces bile. Just because it releases bile does not mean it is produced there. Number 24, which enzyme begins chemical digestion of carbohydrates in the mouth? This is an enzyme that is seen in both I recommend Ollie for Sciences. If you want to pass highly, I pass so well. Awesome. Thank you so much, Mackie. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. That means the world. Number 24. Again, this enzyme is seen in both the mouth and is secreted by the pancreas. The answer here to 24 is C, amylase. Amylase is particularly, because we're in the mouth, it's called salivary amylase. Salivary. If it's come from the pancreas, it's pancreatic amylase. This goes to the small intestine. This is for the mouth. Pepsin is for proteins, peptide, protein. Lipase, D is lipids for like fats. Trypsin comes from the pancreas. That is for proteins as well. It's activated by enteropeptidase from trypsinogen. Number 25. Where does most water reabsorption occur in the digestive tract? There's her using this as a refresher. Awesome. So glad. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. It's always good to see you guys. This is interesting. Awesome. Thank you. I'm glad you find it interesting. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for all the follows and likes on the live. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. All right, the answer to number 25 is C. It is the large intestine. So whatever is left over, particularly from the indigestible matter, again, most of the nutrient absorption occurs in the small intestine, and the indigestible material that moves through the small intestine gets to the large intestine, and we're going to reabsorb or absorb the water and electrolytes from that material, basically solidifying it, kind of turning it into the feces. Number 26, what structure prevents food from entering the nasal cavity during swallowing? I use good notes to write on this, yes. Awesome. Number 26. The answer is B. It is the soft palate. B is soft palate. The soft palate and the uvula also, they elevate this during swallowing to block the nasopharynx. The uvula assists the soft palate. So the soft palate is the main structure, and the uvula assists the soft palate. So both of them, yes. However, this is the main structure. And the epiglottis blocks the trachea, not the nasal cavity. Number 27. Which part of the digestive system is primarily responsible for mechanical digestion? Mechanical digestion. Wrong on 25. I'm definitely not wrong on 25. Most water absorption occurs in the large intestine. I do go live pretty much every day. I start kind of around like noon to 11:30 or whatever. Yeah, I know. A lot of people tell me I'm wrong. Again, the answer here, you say, yeah, most water reabsorption, most nutrients. Yeah, it's just people don't read the questions either. It's okay, though. Again, we're trying to help people here, and people aren't here to help, so that's just how it works. Now, let's just... Number 27, which part of the digestive system is primarily responsible for mechanical digestion? The answer is C. It is the mouth. So again, the mouth has the teeth and the tongue. That is going to physically break down food. Mechanical digestion is just a fancy word for just saying like physically like chew food. 28, what is the name of muscular contractions that move food through the digestive tract? I don't have any past papers. Not currently for a final exam. I am working on one, Gina. I'm working on like a final exam practice test for anatomy and physiology, though. Number 28. What is the name of the muscular contraction that moves food through the digestive tract? The answer is C. It is peristalsis. What is the name of the muscular contraction that moves food through the digestive tract? The answer is peristalsis. Peristalsis is typically defined as a rhythmic contraction of smooth muscle. That rhythmic contraction is what pushes food along the digestive tract. 29. Which of the following is a function of the pancreas in digestion? I passed my HESI. Passed my exit HESI, y'all. Congratulations! If we could get a congratulations in the chat, that'd be great. It's always awesome when we do a little congratulations for people who pass their exams here. But hello to everybody that just joined. Welcome in. My name is Ollie. I do go live just about every day covering anatomy and physiology and some other topics that you guys do request. I do have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I've been tutoring anatomy and physiology for about 5 years now. We do pharmacology every Friday, and we do a lot of stuff that you guys request as well. I make videos as well, and we're about to post some videos on YouTube as well. And I do post the recordings of the live streams to YouTube afterwards. It's linked in my bio, as well as all my notes and study guides from anatomy and physiology. I got an A in the class and 100% on my final exams. I actually have a video coming out kind of either today or tomorrow on YouTube on how I make notes. Trying to get into YouTube, so it's new to me, so some criticism would be great. Constructive criticism. Number 29, which of the following is a function of the pancreas in digestion? The answer is C. It releases digestive enzymes into the small intestine. So the pancreas releases enzymes, kind of like we talked about earlier. We have the lipase, we have pancreatic amylase, and the trypsin. Although pancreas releases it in the form of trypsinogen, as we mentioned, and there's an enzyme, it's called enteropepsidase, that basically turns it into trypsin, which is its active form for digesting proteins. Number 30, what is the function of hydrochloric acid in the stomach? What is the function of hydrochloric acid in the stomach? I use good notes for my notes. Currently doing some of this. I do have some tissue questions prepared for tomorrow. We'll be going live again around the same time, kind of around like noon, 1 Eastern Standard Time. We are on number 30. Hello to everybody that just joined. Welcome. I do go live every day as well, covering A and P. You're literally an angel. Thank you so much. No problem. Yeah, I'm happy to do it. I love doing this. This is so much fun. Again, what is the function of hydrochloric acid in the stomach? Thanks for all the follows, everybody. I really appreciate it. I always love seeing new faces here. Alrighty. So the answer to 30 is D. It activates pepsinogen into pepsin. So we turn pepsinogen into pepsin. HCl, basically, it denatures pepsinogen. And whenever it gets denatured, it activates that pepsinogen into pepsin. This is the active form that digests. This is what digests the proteins, as most protein digestion does occur in the stomach. Nutrient absorption, it mostly happens in the small intestine. Fat emulsification is done by bile, and carb digestion starts in the mouth. Number 31, what is the basic functional unit of the nervous system? What is the basic function of the basic functional unit of the nervous system? Awesome. It's B. It is a neuron. It is a neuron. The neuron is the basic functional unit. Remember, the axon, the dendrite, those are part of the neurons. The synapse is the space between neurons. The axon is what carries the impulse away. So the axon away. Dendrite is what receives the signal. So if we have our little, we'll start with our little cell body here. And we have our dendrites, and we have here, and then these are our dendrites. This is our axon. Our synapse is between neurons at the axon terminals. This is the soma, the cell body. This is going to integrate the signal. So we receive the signal, we integrate it, and then we send it away. Number 32, which part of the brain is responsible for regulating balance and coordination? Number 32, which part of the brain is responsible for regulating balance and coordination? And hello, everybody that just joined. Welcome. We do go live every day here, covering A and P and other topics that you guys request. Thanks for following, and thanks for liking the live. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. I'll upload this to YouTube afterwards as well. It's linked in my bio, as well as my notes and stuff. 32, which part of the brain is responsible for regulating balance and coordination? The answer is C. It is the cerebellum. The cerebellum is going to fine-tune our motor activity. Motor activity does include balance and coordination. Answer choice A, the cerebrum. This is for higher thinking, memory, or voluntary muscle movements. Again, the cerebellum is going to fine-tune the motor activity, which gives us our balance and coordination. The medulla oblongata, we talked about a little bit earlier. That's kind of like more so for vital autonomic or automatic functions like breathing, also for heart rate. The thalamus is more of a sensory relay station. Number 32, I'm sorry, 33. We just finished 32. We're on number 33 now. What is the role of the myelin sheath on a neuron? And hello to everybody that just joined. Thank you guys so much. There's over 600 of you here now. Thank you guys so much. My name is Ollie. I do go live just about every day, covering anatomy and physiology and other topics that you guys request. We do pharmacologies every Friday. I do have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I have been teaching. Tutoring. I've been tutoring anatomy and physiology for about 5 years now. I was a pharmacy tech for about 5 years. But thank you all so much for joining. I will be posting this to YouTube afterwards as well. Honestly, I don't really recommend too many apps. We did cardiovascular system at the beginning of this live stream. On Friday, it should be about same time, like noon, 1 Eastern Standard Time. The only thing I really recommend is probably... The only thing you really need, I would say, is like a note-taking app. But I've never really used any apps. But 33, what is the role of the myelin sheath? What is the role of the myelin sheath? The answer is C. It's going to increase the speed of impulse conduction. So the myelin sheath is going to insulate the axon, and it's going to speed up signal transmission. Number 34. What structure connects the two hemispheres of the brain? What structure connects the two hemispheres of the brain? Thank you guys so much for participating as well. Again, this will be on YouTube afterwards. Someone mentioned if we're doing cardiovascular system. I was at the beginning of this live stream. It'll be on YouTube afterwards as well. Especially, it's on my TikTok bio. And then I do have my notes and anatomy and physiology. Notes and study guides on my website. That is also linked in my TikTok story. Or bio, I'm sorry. I have other practice tests as well on my website. I don't have this one in particular uploaded to my website. 34, the answer is C. It is the corpus callosum. That is the bundle of nerve fibers that allows the communication between the left and right hemispheres of the brain. The cerebral cortex, that's like the outer layer of the brain, more so for like sensory and motor processing. The brainstem is going to essentially control our autonomic functions. Hypothalamus is more so for like homeostatic functions. Number 35, what division of the nervous system controls involuntary bodily functions such as heart rate and digestion? Involuntary, remember involuntary. Hello, thanks for all the follows, guys. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. What is the most basic division here for that? What division of the nervous system controls involuntary bodily functions such as heart rate and digestion? Awesome. It is C. It is the autonomic nervous system. So let's talk about these. The autonomic nervous system, think of automatic. This is going to regulate our involuntary processes like we talked about, digestion, heartbeat, heart rate, respiratory rate. The somatic, think of somatic as body. Somatic is going to be like voluntary. Central nervous system, that includes the brain and the spinal cord. But it's not like direct, it's not like really in terms of directly in regulating our involuntary processes. Our sympathetic nervous system is a subdivision of the autonomic nervous system and only handles the fight or flight response. Not necessarily all of the involuntary functions like heart rate and digestion. Yes, pretty much every day we do these sessions, yes. Number 36, which lobe of the brain is primarily responsible for vision? If you are new here, whoever just asked, my name is Ollie. I do tutor people as well, yes. My tutoring is currently full, so if you want to send me an email first. My email's in my TikTok bio, but send me an email first. We can talk about it. 36, which lobe of the brain is primarily responsible for vision? Will you do these over the summer, as this is when I'll be taking... Yes, I will be doing these over the summer. Tutoring is for anatomy and physiology. Number 36, which lobe of the brain is primarily responsible for vision? The answer is D. It is the occipital lobe. The occipital lobe houses the visual cortex. This is what is going to process that visual information. The frontal lobe controls our decision-making and our motor function. B, the temporal lobe is going to process hearing and language. And C, the parietal lobe processes sensory information like touch and spatial awareness. 37. Which ion is primarily responsible for initiating the action potential of a neuron? Again, initiating. If I miss any questions, I apologize. Sometimes I miss. But yes, I do offer tutoring. Definitely look at my... send me an email first, because my tutoring is pretty full right now. 37. Which ion is primarily responsible for initiating the action potential in a neuron? The answer is C. It is sodium. Let's talk about it. So, when we have an influx, let's take a look at our action potential here. Action potentials kind of look like this. So this is where we generate our action potential here. So we have an influx of sodium into the cell. It's going to increase our action potential. And then this is depolarization. Repolarization is when we have an outflux of potassium. So calcium is important at the synapse for neurotransmitter release, but not for initiating the action potential. Potassium is going to repolarize the membrane after the action potential, and chloride is more so of an inhibitory one, contributes more so to hyperpolarization. Number 38, the sympathetic nervous system is responsible for which type of response? And for those asking, they are similar. Yes, they are similar questions. To everyone that did just join, welcome. I do go live just about every single day. My name is Ollie. I do cover anatomy and physiology. We do pharmacology on Fridays. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I've been tutoring anatomy for about 5 years now. I do upload these to YouTube afterwards as well. It's linked in my TikTok bio, as well as my anatomy and physiology notes and study guides that I used when I was in the class. I got 100% on my final exams. I got an A in the class. All the good stuff like that. It's saved to YouTube. It's YouTube. My YouTube is here. It's also linked in my TikTok bio. Number 38, the sympathetic nervous system is responsible for which type of response? Thank you, everybody, for the follows. I really appreciate it. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. 38, the answer is C. It is the fight or flight response. Rest and digest is the parasympathetic. The way that I always think about it, rest and digest, like slowing down. Parasympathetic, so let's write parasympathetic. I always thought of, some people have different ways, but I always said para, like parachute. When you're falling, you slow down, like you rest and digest. That's how I always remembered that, and distinguishing the difference between those two. The sleep-wake cycle, this is more so by the hypothalamus and the pineal gland with melatonin. Voluntary muscle control. That's part of the somatic, so this is somatic. Number 39, which part of the neuron receives signals from other neurons? Kind of talked about that a little earlier. This is perfect. Awesome. I'm glad this is perfect for you guys. Awesome. There are 60 questions. Yep, we do go live every day around here. We'll continue to go live. This particular exam isn't on my website yet, but I do have other exams. I do have the dates in which I went live with that particular exam on my website. Number 39, which part of the neuron receives signals from other neurons? The answer is C. It is dendrite. Remember, dendrites receive it. Axon sends it away. Myelin sheath speeds it up. Axon terminal is where? Yes, if enough people are interested, I will post this one as well. Number 40, what is the primary function of the spinal cord? What is the primary function of the spinal cord? Is the primary function of the spinal cord. If you have a question and I missed it, I apologize. Sometimes I write on my iPad and then I kind of just forget. Number 40. The answer is C. It relays messages between the brain and the body. Number 41. Which of the following structures connects muscle to bone? Which of the following structures connects muscle to bone? I try to go live every time around this day, yes. Sometimes it's a little later in the day. Kind of just depends on work and whatnot. But yeah, I try to go live between like 11:30 a.m. I start going live between like 11:30 a.m. and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Number 41. The answer is B, tendon. Tendons connect muscles to bone. This is what's going to allow movement when muscle contracts. Ligament is bone to other bones. They stabilize joints. Cartilage is more so for cushioning, smooth movement at joints. Bursae are the small, like fluid filled sacs. They reduce friction. 42. The process of bone formation is called. I also do anatomy exams only. Not current. I try to do anatomy only exams, but TikTok, for whatever the reason, like shuts them down. I'm trying to figure out a way around that. I might start doing it on YouTube instead. We'll kind of see. But anatomy only, where it's just pictures and labeling, for whatever the reason, TikTok doesn't like it and they take it down. So I'm not really sure. The process of bone formation. This is called osteogenesis. Number 42, osteogenesis. Osteogenesis is the process of bone formation. Oop, I have to do my inactivity thing real quick. Sorry about that, guys. TikTok thinks I'm inactive. There we go. Sorry about that. Osteogenesis is the process of bone formation. It begins in the fetus. It continues throughout life with bone remodeling. Osteoarthritis is a degenerative joint disease that more so affects the cartilage. Osteoporosis is a condition where bones become weak and brittle, more so to bone density loss. And osteomalacia refers to softening of bones because of a lack of vitamin D or calcium, so not necessarily bone formation. Number 43, which of the following is a main function of the skeletal system? Genesis, yes, if you think about it, genesis means to like generate or make. So osteo meaning bone, so make bone, create bone. Yeah, it's a couple more seconds to answer. For number 43, what is the main function of the skeletal system? The answer is, for this part, it is A. One of the main functions of the skeletal system is to produce red blood cells. Inside of bones, you have the red bone marrow. So we produce red blood cells, which is a key function of the skeletal system. Also for like necessarily like protection and structure as well. But that's one of the main functions, is to produce red blood cells. Oop, let me see. This is kind of not on the line all the way. Yep. Number 44, what is the primary function of synovial fluid? What is the primary function of synovial fluid? Yes, we do some heart anatomy as well. We kind of talk about that. If I missed a question, I apologize. Sometimes I'm writing on my iPad and I just miss a question. But hello to everybody that just joined. My name is Ollie. I do go live just about every day covering anatomy and physiology. This is for the HESI and Ts. I cover other topics as well that you guys request. We do pharmacology every Friday. This is GoodNotes, if you guys are wondering. I use GoodNotes for all my notes and these exams as well to write on documents and things like that, textbooks, papers, and stuff like that. I do go live every single day covering anatomy and physiology, other topics. I do post them to YouTube afterwards in case you've missed anything. And I do have study guides and notes available for you to download as well. Those are all in my TikTok bio here on my profile. We are on number 44. What is the primary function of synovial fluid? The answer is B. It is to facilitate the movement of bone and joints. Basically, synovial fluid is between synovial joints. They reduce the friction, which essentially allows for smoother movement between bones. Number 45. Which of the following is considered a long bone in the body? It's very important that you kind of know the differences between the different bones and what kind. I have finals coming up. Thank you. Awesome. I recognize good notes when I see it. Farm and AMP next session. I'll definitely be watching. Awesome. Yes, we'll be live again tomorrow. Thank you. What was the name? I'm sorry, I missed the name for the gift. CCV09, thank you for the heart. I appreciate it. Thank you for the hand hearts. Thank you so much. The answer here is the femur. So the femur is the longest bone in the body. It's one of the longer bones. Again, a long bone, just meaning longer. Patella is a sesamoid bone. A vertebra is an irregular bone. And sternum is a flat bone. 46. Which type of muscle tissue is responsible for voluntary movement? Yes, we do anatomy and physiology too also. Awesome, everybody. Awesome. It is skeletal. Type of muscle that is responsible for voluntary movement is skeletal muscle, cardiac and smoother involuntary. 47. The contraction of which muscle results in movement of the forearm when performing a bicep curl? Number 47. The contraction of which muscle results in the movement of the forearm when performing a bicep curl? Where was this when I was in nursing school? I'm so sorry. I only started really doing this recently or whatever. So, but yeah, I appreciate you all being here. I really love doing this. This is very fun. I hope that it's helping. I definitely love doing this with you guys. It's so much fun. But we are at number 47. The contraction of which muscle results in the movement of the forearm when performing a bicep curl. The answer is B. It is the biceps brachii. This is the primary muscle that flexes the elbow and moves the forearm during a bicep curl. The triceps is an antagonist. The quadriceps and hamstring, these are in the lower body. Number 48. Which part of the long bone stores yellow bone marrow? Taking my tea soon. I need this. Thank you. Yes, no problem. Hope you make bank, bro. I wish. I hope I make bank too. I gotta pay back student loans, you man. Taking pathophys and struggling. Yes, pathophys is rough. Pathology and stuff is shit. Thank you, T93, for the goat. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the gifts, guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys for all the finger hearts. I appreciate you guys. All the gifts are very much appreciated. Thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. I am definitely planning on doing this for step 1 as well. In terms of a specific book, this is more so for HESI and TEAS physiology. I do have a recommendations tab on my website, the textbooks that I've used and that I like and things like that. But number 48, what part of the long bone stores yellow bone marrow? So on the diaphysis. Oops, I keep highlighting kind of above or below them. The shaft essentially is what contains the yellow bone marrow. This is what's going to store fat. The epiphysis is more so for red bone marrow. Number 49, what is the role of osteoclast in bone remodeling? What is the role of osteoclast in bone remodeling? Yes, this is the like musculoskeletal, so kind of a mix of both the muscular and the skeletal system. Right now I'm not really doing math stuff, but I definitely will soon. What is the role of osteoclast in bone remodeling? We'll talk about the difference between osteoclast and osteoblast. The answer here is B. Osteoclasts remove old or damaged tissue. So let's write out here. We have osteoblast and osteoclast. We just went over osteoclast, which removes or Removes old or damaged bone tissue. I think osteoclast has a C. It's chew. So if when you chew something, you kind of break it down. Osteoblast is build. So you build up new bone, chew down new bone, blast, build, clast, chew, or like break down. I try to say chew or cleave instead of like break down because if you mix up the B's. I was just getting the habit of that. Number 50, the term axis refers to which structure in the skeletal system? The term axis refers to which structure in the skeletal system? Doing muscular right now. My finals tomorrow. Oh, good luck on your final tomorrow. I just posted a little finals prep video on my TikTok, actually. It's like the first one I posted. I posted 2 videos today. It's the first one. Just some like mistakes people make during finals and whatnot. But 50, the term axis refers to which structure in the skeletal system? The answer is A, the first cervical vertebra. The first cervical vertebra I'm sorry, one sec. Okay, I got it. Again, the term axis refers... give me one sec. Oops. So axis kind of... I think that's wrong, actually. Let me check that question. I got that question from a friend. Give me one sec. This is supposed to be atlas. My bad. Wrong question. It is... So, atlas is the first cervical vertebra. Axis is the second. I apologize. My mistake. That was a question mistake. I apologize. Sorry, I make so many questions every week. Sometimes I do make a bad question. But, again, the term axis refers to the second vertebra. Atlas is the first. Atlas is the first. Sorry about that, guys. Camera's cutting off. Move it over some. Number 51. Which of the following organelles is responsible for producing ATP? The energy of the cell. Give you guys a couple seconds to answer. Which of the following organelles is responsible for producing ATP? Awesome. It is the mitochondria. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. ATP is adenosine. I won't write that out because it's long. Adenosine triphosphate. Mitochondria produces that. Number 52. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum is primarily involved in which of the following functions? Can you move the camera over more? Does it need to go to the right or the left? Because on my screen I can see it fine. Move it to the left. So this way. Okay. Awesome. Perfect. Is that good, guys? Is that good? Right, the other way. Is that better? Perfect. Yes. Okay, great. Thanks, guys. Thank you guys so much. Sorry. Sometimes when I write, I move it, and my screen sometimes is a little different from your guys. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. 52. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum is primarily involved in which of the following functions? The answer is B, is the detoxification of harmful substances. So the smooth ER and liver cells will detoxify drugs, toxins. It also will synthesize lipids and steroid hormones. 53. Which organelle is responsible for protein synthesis? Can't see the whole question. What if I zoom out? Does zooming out make that better? How about zooming out? Way better. Perfect. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Alrighty. The answer is C. It is the ribosome. So ribosomes are that site of translation where the, essentially in ribosomes we have where the mRNA is basically translated and used to assemble amino acids. So this is where we have mRNA. This is where our amino acids get turned into protein. 54. What structure acts as the control center of the cell? It contains the cell's genetic material. So the tablet that I use, I have the second generation iPad. It's a 12.9 inch. I definitely recommend the 12.9 inch. I like the bigger screen, to be honest, when it comes to the iPad. And this is the second generation pen. The answer, number 54. What structure acts as the control center? It has genetic material. The answer is the nucleus. This is going to contain the DNA. And it's going to direct the cell activities. Basically, it controls gene expression. Moving on. 55. Which of the following organelles is involved in the modification, sorting, packaging of proteins? Basically, where they can get secreted or delivered to other organelles. This is GoodNotes. This app itself is GoodNotes. It stops at 60. I have 60 questions here. And I do post these to YouTube. Again, I do post these. Is it okay that I'm taking notes? No, it's great that you're taking notes. Yeah, I'm glad. If you are taking notes and you miss something, it'll be on YouTube later tonight or tomorrow morning. If you miss anything and want to go back and anything. I think it's great that you're taking notes. No, that's awesome. I appreciate that. That means a lot that you're taking notes during this. The answer here is A. It is the Golgi apparatus. The Golgi apparatus, think of it as like your post office. The Golgi, it will receive it'll receive proteins from the ER. It'll kind of modify them, package them up, and they will send them off to wherever it's needed. Number 56. What is the function of lysosomes within a cell? What is the function of lysosomes within a cell? This is GoodNotes. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. How did I get all this set up to study? Basically, I typed this out in Google Docs, and then I just downloaded the GoodNotes so I can write over top of it. I just think Lysol. That's so funny. I have never heard of that. That's actually a really great way to think about it. Answer choice C. Break down waste and cellular debris. So lysosome breaks down waste and cellular debris. So the lysosomes they contain digestive enzymes. They degrade worn out organelles, pathogens, just waste. But Lysol is a great way to think about that. I've never heard of that. That is so funny. That's a perfect way of thinking about it. Yeah, lysis, yes. Lysis does need to break down. Number 57. The structure of a cell that controls what enters and leaves the cell. I'll give you guys a couple more seconds to answer. Fun to see if I can remember these off the top of my head. Yes, it is. It is very fun. It's always fun making the questions too. I always like making them. I do join some other people's live streams and try to answer them as well sometimes, just to test my memory. The answer here is B. It is the plasma membrane. Remember, the plasma membrane is selectively permeable. What it means when it's selectively permeable, meaning it's very picky with what it can enter and leave the cell. That means it regulates transport. Specifically, it's referred to as the phospholipid bilayer. So basically, it kind of looks like this. I'll just draw like a quick picture. As the hydrophobic tails and hydrophilic heads. 58. Which organelle contains enzymes that break down fatty acids and detoxify harmful substances in the cell? What days? Pretty much almost every day I'm on the live stream, except for sometimes Saturdays. Sometimes on Saturdays I don't go live. Learning about some of this in my QMA class. Awesome, I'm glad it's helping. All right, thanks for following. Let's talk about it here. So the organelle that contains enzymes that breaks down fatty acids and detoxifies harmful substances in the cell. The answer is A. It is peroxisome. So peroxisomes breaks down fatty acids and they neutralize toxins like hydrogen peroxide. A very, very big thing to know is hydrogen peroxide, and it breaks that down with catalase. The difference here between a peroxisome and a lysosome: lysosome digests cellular waste, not fats and toxins specifically, but peroxisomes are going to break down fatty acids, neutralize hydrogen peroxide with catalase. This is for both, kind of similar to both HESI and TEAS. I am trying to go for my PhD, yes. Last two questions here. 59. What structure is responsible for the storage of genetic material in the form of DNA? Number 59. What structure is responsible for the storage of genetic material in the form of DNA? Yeah, no one knows what questions are on the T's. You need to understand the material. Yeah, that's why we kind of talk about it's kind of more of a review. We're trying to review concepts and try to explain and understand things so you can use information that we talk about here, basically to correlate it to questions that you might see on those exams and whatnot. The answer here we kind of talked about earlier. Again, it's a nucleus. It stores genetic material in DNA. 60. Which of the following organelles is primarily responsible for maintaining cell shape, and it also aids in cell division? It also aids in cell division. Taking the PA test tomorrow. Thank you for the review. Awesome. Good luck on that tomorrow. You got this. Awesome, everybody. It is the cytoskeleton. The cytoskeleton is composed of all those things that, like the microtubules, the microfilaments, the intermediate filaments. They maintain the shape, and specifically what this aids in is it's called the mitotic spindle. This is what's going to aid in cell division. That was all the questions I had today, guys. Thank you guys so much. I guess it provides the mitotic spindle. When can I do heart and eye? We'll probably do some more heart questions tomorrow. So yes, you weren't on there at the beginning. So the replay of this live is going to be on YouTube. It's linked in my bio. But here's my name. It's going to be up there later tonight or tomorrow morning. My A&P notes and study guides are also on my website. It's Medzeg is the website. These are linked in my TikTok bio. So these are linked in bio. Oops. They're linked in my TikTok bio. I will be back again tomorrow, sometime kind of between probably around 12 p.m. noon Eastern Standard Time. And I'll start sometime in there in like 1 p.m. I have my teas this Thursday. Yes, we do other subjects. We actually have pharmacology. Pharm is on Friday at noon. Any other quick questions here? I do want to thank you guys all for joining. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. You guys make this so much fun to do. I appreciate you guys. Again, my A&P notes are linked in my bio. If you missed anything, this will be on YouTube later today or tomorrow morning. Kind of just depends on the YouTube processing time. I'll be live again tomorrow. Sometimes we do case-based questions, yes. Sometimes, yes. These will be linked in, everything's going to be linked in my bio. I did post some videos today. Thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate you guys. Yep. You can rewatch these on YouTube. It's right here. It's linked on my bio. Let us know when you start anatomy. Yes. Clinical psychology. I have done clinical psychology before. Yes. Like a month or so ago. Let us know when you start anatomy. Yes. Perfect. I definitely make announcements all the time when I start stuff and when stuff comes up and things like that. Yeah, I have some EKG questions. I've thrown a couple EKG questions in there before as well. Any other quick questions here before I get going? Thank you guys so much for joining. This is always so much fun to do. Thanks for all the follows. Again, if you are new here, I do go live just about every day covering anatomy and physiology and other topics. If you are new, yes, I did finish. I am going to post this to YouTube afterwards. I do post these to YouTube. Ollie, I love you. I love you too. Not user124. Thank you guys. Love you. Yeah, I love you guys. You guys are awesome. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine. I've been tutoring A&P for like 5 years now. I do offer private lessons. Yeah, my email is in my TikTok bio, but here it is as well. My tutoring is pretty full right now, so I would send me an email first. But yes, I do offer tutoring as well. But it's pretty full right now, so I definitely would send me an email first. Any other quick questions here? I do have to get going. But again, I want to thank you guys. I cannot thank you guys enough. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. I talk about, I say this at the end of every live stream, but all I do is talk about how supportive you guys are. And all my friends and family, and how great this is and how rewarding. Yes, it is awesome. But thank you guys again. Thanks for all the follows and all the likes and everything, all the support. You guys are awesome. You've been very helpful. Thank you. Have a great day. Yeah, you have a great day as well. Alrighty, guys. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you again. I cannot thank you guys enough. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much.